Good afternoon. There we go. Good afternoon. 6 o'clock. Call this meeting to order. Dr. Salazar, Pledge of Allegiance.
Mr. Maya, members of the board, today we have two students here to help lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. They are children from Lopez Riggins Elementary, but they're representing the District Service Center. I'd like to introduce you first to Romario Barreto. He's a second grade student at Lopez Riggins Elementary. He enjoys reading so much that last year he earned first place for AR reading in his grade level. He plans to keep it up this year. Romario also enjoys playing with Legos and video games. He's excited to begin this new school year and to continue to be an excellent. Next, I'd like to introduce you to Ronaldo Barreto. Ronaldo is a second grade student at Lopez Riggins Elementary. He earned second place last year on the reflex math at the lower grade level. At his school, he enjoys spending time with his brother. He's also a huge WWE wrestling fan. Ronaldo's excited to keep up his good work for this school year. Romario and Ronaldo are twin brothers. They both want to own a business. They want to be business entrepreneurs, and they are the sons of Gabriel and Maritza Barreto. They're twins, and these twins are here to help lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Will everyone please rise for the pledge?
I know you've already been introduced. Could you stand so we can thank you? Thank you very much. I can't think of a better way of starting a new school year with two good-looking young men that, Mom, they're going to turn out to be teenagers, and it looks like you have another one next to you there. Two good-looking young men. Thank you very much. Ms. Garcia, could you help us with roll call, please?
Mr. Jesus Amaya.
Present.
Mr. Leonel Garza.
Present.
Ms. Dano Garcia, I'm here. Mr. Martin Castillo.
Present.
Mrs. Darlene Peterson.
Present.
Mr. Ray Farias.
Present.
Mr. Ruben Trevino.
Present.
Dr. Gonzalo Salazar.
Present.
And Ms. Priscilla Delegato Council.
Present.
Thank you, ma'am. Dr. Salazar, district reports.
Mr. Meyer, members of the board, tonight we the monthly financial reports. I wonder if you have any questions on any of those. If there are no questions, I'd like to move on to item 2 under district reports. The proposed governmental budgets for fiscal year 2019 and proposed notice of public hearing to discuss budget and tax rate. At this time, I'd like to turn it over to our CFO, Mr. David Young. Mr. Young.
Thank you, Dr. Salazar, President Amaya, members of the board. We're happy to present this budget for you all this evening. There's no significant changes from the last several iterations that we've discussed. A couple of minor issues. We moved personnel from one federal program back to our budget, but we made the appropriate adjustments there. But as far as dollars-wise, it's not a material difference. We're still looking at a combined governmental budget of $114,318,649, which is right in the ballpark of what we've been discussing so far. It does include all of the personnel adjustments that we spoke of in our committee meetings, as well as the briefings that we've discussed already. It includes the $4,000 per employee for that's on the professional hiring schedule, which includes all of the teachers, librarians, counselors, diagnosticians, etc. I hate to start mentioning people because I know I'll leave somebody off and I'll get an email, but everyone on the professional hiring schedule. And then it also includes all other employees, including professionals, professionals that are not on that schedule, plus manual trades, paraprofessionals, clerical staff. It's a 5% from the midpoint a raise. So what that means is whatever pay grade you're in, 5%, I'm sorry, I said midpoint, I meant minimum. 5% of the minimum is determines what the amount is, and that amount is added to everyone that's included in that pay grade. And I'd be happy to answer any questions. I also included in this packet, and it is on page 57, the proposed notice, for public hearing for the budget and the tax rate. If you looked at your packets prior to this weekend, you might notice that this one looks a little bit different. We did find some typos in it that were corrected today, and we spoke to the newspaper. They don't have a problem. They'll have it corrected and be published accurately, actually tomorrow. And you may see it come out in the Los Fresnos News, but that's not our paper of record. We use Brownsville Herald as a paper of record for these publications. So we will correct the Los Fresnos News, and it'll be the following week, but it won't be within the window necessary for the correct notification. However, we'll meet that requirement by using the Herald this week. So any questions, I'd be happy to entertain.
Mr. Young, can you add one more comment? How does this budget compare to last year's? The overall.
Well, the overall budget is actually down about 9.5%. I'm sorry, 8.5%. Maintenance and operations is a decrease of almost 8.9. There's a slight increase, 0.13 in debt service, and then altogether, all governmental budgets combined, it's about 8.6 decrease there. And of course, that's just comparing it to the amended budget, which is our current budget for 17-18. So we'll take into account that difference will narrow as the year goes on, and we find projects that need to get done, and we decide to approach them. So I expect that it's probably going to end up very close to where we are this year.
Sure.
Mr. Young, on the newspapers, we have to use the Brownsville Herald because there's a circulation minimum, or?
Well, they clearly meet the definition. The Los Fresnos News is used by others as paper of record. We usually do that because they have an extensive distribution within our district, so we will use both. It's difficult to get the timing down on the Los Fresnos paper because you have to have it so far in advance that, for example, right now we had to have it in the last week. That's why I'm saying we couldn't correct it in time. Where the Herald is, typically they tell you have to have it so many days in advance, but they'll work with you, especially if you're a good customer.
Thank you. Questions?
When will this get posted? This week?
It should actually be published tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
If there aren't any other questions, we have two items in connection with the election calendar for November 6, 2018. Two items on the agenda, but we have been including our election calendar just as a report each month, and as a reminder to all of you that we're moving closer to that deadline. Those are all the reports we have at this time, sir.
Thank you very much. No one has signed up in public audience. We're going to consent agenda. We have quite a few items on consent agenda, 30 to be exact. If any of our members would like one or more of the items pulled from consent agenda, we can look at that right now so we can open them up for discussion. If not, I will entertain a motion to accept or vote on consent agenda, approve consent agenda as posted and as written on our agenda. Go ahead, Mr. Castillo.
So moved, sir.
There's a motion to approve it. Just let me give them one more second, see if anybody wanted to pull an item. There's no items that need to be pulled by anyone? Okay, we have a motion to approve consent agenda as posted. Do we have a second? Mr. Farias? We have a motion and a second to approve consent agenda as posted, all 30 items. All those in favor, please signify by raising your right hand. It's unanimous. Action items. Action item number 1, discuss and take action to propose a budget for fiscal year 2019. Is there a motion? Go ahead, Ms. Castillo.
Mr. Amaya, I move that we propose the budget as presented for the fiscal year 2019.
Is there a second? Ms. Peterson? I just want to clarify before we open up for discussion on the motion. Are we good, Council, are we good on the motion the way it was proposed? Thank you. Discussion. Go ahead, ma'am.
I just want to thank Mr. Young for, during our finance committee meetings, we always present everything in different ways so that we all think a little differently. So I just want to thank you for going through. A lot of times we see examples of budgets when we go off to training, and they always tell us, you know, ask for it this way and ask for it this way, and we get them in various ways, and broken up the way you do, you break them up for us. So thank you for going through that for us.
Comments, questions, discussion? There being none, I have a motion and a second to approve the proposed budget as was presented to us for fiscal year 2019. All those in favor, please signify by raising your right hand. It's unanimous. I can't speak for everyone, but I think a lot of us, and I'm sure all of us, feel the same way, that not just the way your people work and keep us informed, but the way you are able to not just propose a budget, but only amend it when it's absolutely necessary, and taking things like that into consideration. You're never looking for any kind of praise or approval, but I think that I know that we truly appreciate all the work that you've done, and I know that everybody that's getting a raise does the same thing, because if it weren't for you to look at things and do the things that we do with the TRE and with other things, we wouldn't be able to do it. So thank you, and Dr. Salazar and everybody that's responsible for that. Item number 2, discuss and take action to propose an ad valorem tax rate of $1.17 per $100 valuation for maintenance and operation, and 2 cents per $100 valuation for interest and sinking, for the total tax rate of $1.19 in the Los Fresnos Consolidated Independent School District for the tax year 2018, which is fiscal 2019, and set the date of August 27, 2018 for a public hearing to discuss the proposed budget and tax rate. Is there a motion? Mr. Farias. Thank you. I'm not going to ask you to repeat that. I think it's already on there. Is there a second? We had a hand here first, ma'am. I'm sorry. Mr. Trujillo. I apologize. Discussion. There is no discussion. We have a motion and a second to approve the tax rate as read, and to set the date of August 27, 2018 for a public hearing to discuss the proposed budget and tax rate. All those in favor, please signify by raising your right hand. It is unanimous. Item number 3, discuss and take action to approve the superintendent's personnel recommendations for the following positions for the 2018-2019 school year. Letter A is teachers, letter B is diagnostician. Do we have a motion? Mr. Trevino.
Yes, Mr. Amaya, I move that we approve the superintendent's recommendation.
Thank you, sir. Is there a second? Ms. Garcia? We have an emotion. We have a motion, maybe some emotion too. But I'm sure that if we have anybody in the audience, there may be a motion attached to this motion to approve the superintendent's personnel recommendations for the following positions: the 2018-2019 school year, teachers and diagnostician. All those in favor, please signify by raising your right hand. Do we have any of our new Falcons in the audience? Please stand. Welcome, young man. I'm going to turn it over to you, sir.
Mr. Maya, today was the first Mr. Maya members of the board today. School, and it feels like we picked up right where we left off. We're excited to be starting the 18-19 school year on Friday, August 17th at 7:30. We'll have our football team will scrimmage against the Mission Eagles at Tom Landry Stadium. There's a 7:30 start time for that game, and Monday, August 27th is our special called board meeting. Those are all the announcements that we have at this time.
An announcement. I just wanted to say what a wonderful convocation. Ms. Laundrie, you did a great job, and your whole team. Yes, everybody that did that was. For those of you that didn't attend, Mr. Amaya also represented the board well and did a very good job. And he actually did such a good job that he left Mr. Young speechless. But even though he was speechless, we got to see moves that we've never seen. So John Travolta, watch out. But the convocation was a great way to start the year and a lot of good feedback.
Congratulations on the first day of school. Those of us, we all know, whether you're a parent, a student, an administrator, we all know what the first day of school is. You didn't have to open up Facebook today to know what was going to be on it. It is now 6:18. I'm sorry we were not as efficient as sometimes tonight. And the meeting is adjourned. Thank you.